The reset button, episode 37, live. We are back. Tannen, thawing out from the unexpected snowstorm. What's going on? How you been? How was your weekend? Where can everyone catch you?
I've been all right. Yeah. What? You are right about that. What a unexpected snowstorm that was. Now I just can't even believe it. But hey, you know, like what can you do? What do? You play video games and you just chill the fuck out. I had to work the one day. Of course, nobody was coming in because who has a blizzard in spring? We do. But
we do. 10 inches.
Yeah.
Literally, where Tannen and I live, guys, it was like 55 degrees, and then the next day, 10 inches of snow. You wake up.
That was 70 degrees 2 weeks ago. I don't even want to hear that.
Exactly.
But, you know, is what it is. I mean, there's still snow on the ground. I'm kind of accepting of it because it was just like, how often do we get this that happens after daylight savings time? That was my biggest thing, too. Like, I was just like, how often do you see snow on the ground this late in the day?
It's very progressive of you, Tannen.
Hey, you know what? You got to look on the bright side and the little things. And I don't like the sun going down early in the winter. But I do like me some snow and the sun going down at like 7:30 in the evening. With that said, though, is everything going okay on the live stream?
Yeah, we are live.
Okay. Kuzan, can you hear us? By the way, because mine keeps resetting. Oh, whoa. Holy crap.
What?
I had to stop the live stream because, wow. It's delayed for me. It's majorly delayed. I'll just handle the chat.
Oh, yeah. Well, for us, it's like a 7-10 second delay for what we're actually saying. Anyway, let's all the formal bullshit.
I was like, whoa, holy shit.
No, that's standard YouTube. That's normal. all the formal bullshit and the snow talk, because we're not 80-year-old men. We're not here to talk about the weather the whole show. Where can everyone catch you at on Twitter? And you'd be so proud of me, Tannen. The description below, I actually linked our fucking Facebook for once. Look at that.
Oh my god, you did. Aren't you a sweetheart? You can catch me at Tannensbum at twitter.com. I try to check it as often as I can. I'm going through a phone transitional phase right now, so it's here and there. But you can also check me out on my Facebook under Tannen Paul. I'm there. You can check us out on Hibiki TMD under Facebook. Hibiki TMD at Twitter. Everything under Team Laser Mouse. Check out all those other great programs, Slam Pigs, and just everything galore going on up on that end. There's just a lot going on. Holy shit.
There really is. Speaking of other things going on, I heard you say Kuzan. That would mean Kuzan is in the chat, correct?
Kuzan is in the chat.
Shout out to Kuzan Tannen. Lots of things going on. Slam Pigs came back last night. It's back with new co-hosts. Kuzan is actually one of those, along with our buddy Colin. We went 2 hours last night, so thank you guys that stopped by. Anyone that stops by the chat tonight. Tannen is actually on chat duty tonight, if you can believe it.
Yep. I am, and it is fun.
You know what else is fun? Free games! And I gotta say something, Tannen. For PS4, PS Plus members, this is one of the better months in recent memory for sure. Ratchet and Clank, Bloodborne, Mighty Number 9, Claire, right?
Yes, Claire. Oh man, dude, that was... And I'm surprised, but it was just like ever since Silent Hill had kind of, they said we're not going to do this anymore. They made these side-scrolling games that have so many Silent Hill elements, and this is one of them. I didn't expect it at all. Actually, like when I first saw it on there, I got it mixed up with what's that other game? It's like called Clara or something, where it's like really sexualized, but it's like Intelligent Cube at the same time, and it's a puzzle game. Yeah. You know what I mean? I thought it was that, and I went ahead and added it to the library, but when I went to add it to the library, I saw the trailer, and I was like, holy fuck. totally different game. So I've been playing it, and it's a lot like Silent Hill, but a lot like that Gone. Or no, it's just called Home. A lot like that, but you have a map now, and it's kind of scary. Like that game has made me jump a couple of times now at this point, even though it's a side scroller that looks like an 8-bit game or 16-bit game. So really liking it.
I would say if anything, and there's definitely been some shit months with the free games, right? But more times than not, I would say that the horror genre games are usually pretty decent that they give us. I remember getting like the Resident Evil free a couple last October, I think, the remake of the first. That's fine, you know. It's
Mm-hmm.
but man, I need to check that out. I have not played Claire, so hands on first impressions or whatever. Would you say recommend to our listeners to check it out or take a
Most definitely. Well, first off, it's free. It's the
right?
extended cut, so you get the full version. Yeah, like if you liked Home, you're gonna like this, and if you like Silent Hill or just any kind of survival horror game, you're gonna like this. It's a as I said, it's a really good, interesting game. The physics in it worked quite well. I mean, you can only run for so long until she runs out of breath. I mean, it's only right and left, but at the same time, it's still like a maze. You have to keep up with your map. You have to find objects. You have to backtrack sometimes. And also, the game acts, I guess, upon your decisions. I haven't gotten that far to see how, but I'll have a more of a. I mean, I just started playing it today, so. Um, what's your thoughts on Mighty Number 9?
That's reading my mind already. 5 minutes in the show. Fine. I know we're late to the party, guys. Okay, but you never played it before this month, right, Tannen?
No, this is
Okay,
like I finally decided because everybody shit talked it so much.
right.
So I
Well,
was just like, well, shit. If it's that bad, I won't. I'll wait.
and
And
plus, I assumed, as I'm sure you did, this was probably going to be free eventually. Even though I've seen it on Flash for like $3, I didn't even bother. So I was like, I knew this was going to be free someday. And lo and behold, it was. Tannen and I finally popped our cherry, Mighty Number 9. I gotta say, man, you guys were too hard on it. You, the people, yeah, you. I'm talking to you. You guys were flat out too hard on it. I get it. I get the frustrations. I get the money that Inafune and company took from the Kickstarter. I get it. And yeah, okay. First things first, the graphics are garbage. For the standards now they're garbage. But that's not what these fucking games were about in the first. It should, you know what I'm saying, Tana? In a way, like the only time I cared about graphics in the Mega Man games is if the sprites were too big and it took away from the hit detection. I never really cared if it looked like shit that, like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You know what
so
I'm
I
saying?
was
Does that
chatting
make
with him.
sense?
No, and I get that. Like, no, and also though, like, why did people say that it was too hard? That's what gets me. A lot of these reviews say that the difficulty was up, and as I'm playing it today, bear in mind this is just today, so I haven't got too far, but it's I think every Mega Man game so far has been harder than Mighty Number 9.
I kind of have to agree. And you made it off air earlier. You messaged me thinking that X was harder than this. See, I've played X so many times. I can't even remember it being hard at this point because I can borderline speedrun it now. But yeah, I would agree that it's not that hard. It has moments where it's frustrating, definitely and it's supposed to be, and I mean that in a good way. Like it, I don't know what you guys are talking about either. Some of these boss fights, they're well designed. I mean, I haven't played a level yet I've hated. I'll say that.
Mhm. Yeah, no, and so far, I mean, the physics seems okay. Like it doesn't seem off. It's not buggy. It's a pretty straight up game. It's just, yeah, and I don't know if you had so many like Mega Man fans that were pissed off about it not being Mega Man-y enough, but then you had people saying it was too difficult. I don't get it.
every
So,
franchise has every franchise has that fickle demographic in it, but Mega Man is one of those like a Castlevania, one of the where it's a little bit more, where the people the standards the bar's just a little bit higher for something along and
yeah,
that's the thing, guys. This isn't called Mega Man. It's not Mega Man. It's a Force
it's a
spinoff. He
clone.
didn't he
It's
didn't
just
have
a
a
clone. It's just
choice,
a clone. Yeah, it's a clone. But I don't. Is it a bad clone? I wouldn't say it was a bad clone. I would say it was decent. Like, so far so good from what I've played.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like play like for like 45 minutes and put down my controller being like, what the fuck? No, I played for 45 minutes. So I was like, now I gotta do some shit. So like, like it was.
Exactly.
Trust me, if I, usually I'll give a game 20 minutes and be like, fuck this bullshit.
I will say this in a negative aspect about the game. It doesn't have that sense of I need to keep going and trudging through like a good Contra does or a good Castlevania did. Like, I need to beat this level. I cannot move on with my day until this fucking part in this level. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have
Yeah.
that. I got to do it. Like you just said, move on with my day. I'll get back to it. You know what I mean? That's the feeling it gets you. I'll get back to it later in the day. Not that I need to do it now. Definitely a Contra 3 has, I would say, or a Castlevania. You know,
No, Contra 3, I mean, it just beats your ass into wanting to do it. You want to do it. You
in a good
have
way.
to.
Yeah, it's like S&M
Like,
in a video game.
oh, we ran out. Continues. Guess what? We're starting from the beginning, motherfucker.
The ball and gag and the whip with video games. I don't know. I don't have the chat up to hand. Does anybody in the chat have anything to say about Mighty Number 9?
Jump and shoot. No, I'm not. I mean, okay, like, hold on. See, I don't have my glasses yet, so I'm having a hard time here.
Oh shit.
Goddamn right. Silent Hill. I'm really great about these, by the way, guys. They stole Huey from that rare Capcom game that I can't remember the name off of. Oh yeah. And Jump and Shoot. No, nothing really about Haunted Ground. And yeah, you are right about that, Kuzan. Haunted Ground, they definitely did. And it became. I mean, Haunted Ground was basically a successor to Clock Tower. It's pretty much the same game. Just a new one. So, but anyway, nothing really about Mighty Number 9 showing up in here.
I will say this. I don't know how much more time you want to spend on Mighty Number 9. I will say, looking back, if I would have spent the $15 I think it was originally going for, I don't know if I would have been pissed, but I would have been meh. But if I would have paid $6, I would have been fine with it.
Yeah, I would have been fine with like $6 to. I mean, like $10 even. I think I would have not raised hell. 15's fine too. Speaking of games that are a little bit more expensive, today I did go ahead because I've been waiting for this. I've been talking about it since they talked about it on E3. A Way Out.
Yes.
Go ahead and purchase that.
Just released.
Yep,
the critics kind of on the fence. Like, it's kind of middle of the road in their eyes, but you seem like it's fun from what you're telling me.
No, well, I have no idea. I haven't played it.
Oh, that's right. Damn it.
Who the
fuck said it was really good? I think it was my buddy PNG that told me it was
You
really
cannot play it outside of co-op, so you got to have a buddy with you. Which that's a pro and a con. You know what I mean? But at the same time, a pro is I bought it so you could play it for free. So there you go, Travis. All you have to do is download the demo, which goes to show that all gaming demos, when you download them, are actually the full game. You just don't have the whatever little code in there to unlock the full game. But yeah, all you have to do is download the demo, and that, and then I invite you to the game, and then we can do the full campaign, which is great. I mean, I think that's a great idea. Not everybody has to buy it, because it's a forced co-op game.
It's a smart way to get more hands on it, more casuals, and maybe then they get bit by the bug and buy the game eventually.
It was a good way for them to sell the game like that. Dead Space 3 was a game that still to this day pisses me off to no end because 50% of the fucking game was required co-op.
Right.
And I've bitched about that before. Like, okay, so finally I get somebody on there that's going to play co-op with me, and they're a goddamn idiot. And, like, whatever, it really killed the game for me, after having, an amazing first two games. So this is a whole new take, though. I mean, it's a prison escape game, And the one guy looks like Julian from Trailer Park Boys, which kills me.
That's true. That's true. What's the cruelest thing in the history of anything video games where they've ever done something like that in a game where you had to have like a second player or something cryptic? And then what I would say isn't really that you had to have a second player, but there's no way you would know. And what is it, X-Men for Sega? You had to switch the controller out to port 2 at this certain part, or you couldn't continue with the game and then hit reset or some weird shit.
Like, but that required a second controller.
There's a part in the first X-Men on Sega Genesis where you get to a certain level in the game where you can't. There's like a big computer or something you're in front of, And to hack the computer, you got to like take the controller out of port 1 and then plug it into port 2 and then do some weird configuration or hit reset or something. But there's no way to know that. Typical 90s games, right? Without looking it up. But that's pretty cruel. You think your game's just busted or some shit back then. That happened to me so many times as a kid, where it'd be some cryptic shit, and I'd just be like, "Mom, this game's broke." Little
Well, I mean,
Travis didn't really try a lot.
there was I can't remember a game that required a co-op person to come in. Like the only games that I can remember that like Battletoads was weird on getting the 2-player to go. Unless you read the manual, like to get to like the character selection, because it was like pressing A and B at the same time at a certain part in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was the only way to get a 2-player, which was really fucking weird.
Which is one of the most retarded things ever done for a game. Let's be honest, especially
Yeah.
a beat 'em up.
Oh man, no, I remember like when I sat down with a friend, I was like, yeah, somehow it's 2-player, and we couldn't figure it out. You had to hold down select or some bullshit. Like that one, and then the other one, it just got brought up just got said in the chat. But Metal Gear Solid, but that was a little different because you didn't require a co-op game; you just had to switch your ports on the PlayStation. It was just like Metal Gear Solid made you think out the box. Like it was like, get the code off the back of the jewel case. Like it was like.
But it's that whole. That's so. I think that's a big thing. As much as that was unfair back then, and it pissed you off as a gamer, that cryptic shit.
I loved
that's
it.
sorely missing in modern gaming.
When you go into the fight with Psycho Manus and you had to switch the ports, like that was fucking awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like that was like, oh my god, real life interaction on this shit.
And you don't see that a lot more, is what I'm saying, in modern gaming.
Yeah, no, you really don't. Or like some bullshit where you have to get on a website. Look up a website.
Exactly.
Like, oh my god. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
that was just like one of the things. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of is the character selection for Battletoads was another weird, just cryptic thing. It wasn't there in its interface. You just hit start, you would start the game, but like I really feel like you had to either hit select or A and B at the same time during the intro.
And obviously, I think the biggest, most well-known one, I don't know if the chat's already said it, but it's Castlevania 2, where you got to crouch down at the mountain and wait for the tornado to come take you away.
Oh my god,
that's probably the most notorious.
Yeah, better have a Nintendo Power issue for that one.
Or just subscribe to Angry Video Game Nerds channel.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about back then.
Yeah. No, there's no fucking way. Even with Game Genie back then, you were fucked. There was no way to figure that out without the power. Without the internet, you needed the power. It was that simple back in the day. A lot of people have been asking me, Tannen, to move on a little bit, about the picture. People, our buddy Rocky Baya is one of them, reached out to me. What is up with the picture? You want to explain the elephant real quick?
Sure. That is Mr. Ed's Elephant Museum, located right outside of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It is a place that I go to if I can every birthday that I have. It's just a really nice place. You go there. There's a bunch of elephants around. I think it's a collection of like 1,200 elephants. And it's also a candy store. So if you ever want to feel like a kid, you go there. And yeah, this big elephant is in a gazebo, and I had never walked up to it before, and never had screwed with it or anything. And then this time, like nobody was there. It was just Karen and I. We walked up, and I went to hug the elephant, and the elephant like woke up and came to life, and started blinking its eyes and moving its ears. So Karen took that picture of me and an unsurmountable amount of joy on my 33rd birthday.
That's awesome. I've taken my kids there once, and they loved it. But they were younger. But still, it was you feel like a kid when you go there. Yeah, so there's your answer.
Yeah, you can take them back there. You don't have to pay to get in. It's donations accepted. But really, honestly, if you just buy some candy, they're making profit off of it. And that old dude is really cool. If you ever run into Mr. Ed there, Travis, he is a really nice guy.
Worth the drive. And there's your answer, Rocky, for the picture. Other than that, I know last time we did an episode, dude, I've played every Godzilla game this month except for the Xbox and PS2 ones. I don't want to talk about Godzilla, that's for sure. Man, I've been playing a lot of GTA 5 online. I know you don't really play it. It's okay. The problem with it is it's staggering. There's so much to do, at least for
Oh,
me.
you gotta grind the motherfuck out of your
Not this,
fucking
but that's fine, and not even that because I love shit like Skyrim or
yeah,
whatever you gotta go. But
but
it's
I mean
just
that
the way I'm wired. If I see too much on my map, I'm never gonna do anything. I was like, oh, go here, and wait, no, I want to go here real quick, and I'll just get sidetracked or just fuck around. That's just me though. But it's fun if
yeah,
you
oh
have
dude, it's
friends.
extremely fun. Sometimes you do get like annoyed though. Like one time I went into a tattoo shop as my character, and I was gonna spend some of my hard-earned money on getting a tattoo. And I hear this beep, beep, beep all of a sudden. I'm like, what the fuck's going on there? And I go to walk out of the tattoo shop and the huge explosion. This dude had probably set up like fucking like had to have been like 20 proximity mines. I mean, it was an amazing
Oh my god,
explosion. But like
jeez.
just like, are you fucking serious? Like,
Was this
man,
last gen you did this on, or this gen when you did it?
oh, it was this gen. And it was, I mean, it was pretty amazing death. Like I sat there and laughed my ass off about it, but at the same time, like I was like, really?
Did it scare
Like
you when it happened? You were just like browsing
well,
through like cuts.
I heard the beeping, and I'm like, "What the fuck's going on there?" And then after I got my little tattoo, I'm like, walk
You
outside
heard
and
the
look at
beeping
this
and you're
shit.
like, I didn't put food in, and then boom, your guy's dead.
Pretty much, and
That's
I play
fucking
most
hilarious.
of the time.
Now, see, I'm gonna
Uh,
rip that off and do it to somebody online just to be a dick, and I'm gonna stream myself doing it. Get a vantage point to watch it happen from like the top of a building. There you go.
yeah,
Yeah, but
I
it's
mean,
been fun.
you fly anywhere. I mean, there's a ton of vehicles, but like, yeah, it's just like what's saying in here, like, yeah, GTA Online is grind unless you have mates, which is very true. Um, but even when yeah, if you're like me and you want to play at 2 a.m. and most of your friends are in sleep or whatever, there ain't much to do. And after a while, it just took up so much space on my PS4. I took it off. I got it on an Xbox now, but I haven't even installed it because I have so much on my Xbox hard drive too that I don't know. I want to get back into it though. You're into it now, so maybe I'll go ahead and do it.
If anything, it's a fun time killer.
Twisted my fucking arm.
There you go.
I'll do it.
Um,
I'll do it. I'll do it if you go ahead and get the getaway out so we can play it together. Which you
okay.
need to. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's free. Come
Yeah,
on,
I
man.
mean, if it's like I went there and I was like $30. What is he talking about? But now I
She
know.
didn't get
See,
you didn't get him my game invite either. It would have been like, get the trailer. And it's probably a way to get you to buy the full game because you're not gonna be able to play unless I'm on. But this is something we can both work on. Holy shit.
there you go. Tannen, this is literally, guys. We have no format for this. This is just me and Tannen being me and Tannen. On Sunday, Tannen, I'm gonna be for the first time ever a guest on my buddy from up north, JD's video game show, the Red Leaf Retrocast. And the topic, Tannen, is fighting games. They've never done a fighting games episode. You and I, besides like when Injustice 2 came out, we've never really talked a lot about fighting games. My question to you is, do you
Mhm.
at the end of the day, do you prefer 2D or 3D fighters?
It's depending on the franchise, really. Cause
True.
ooh, God, yeah. Cause I've played some shitty 3D fighters, and I played some shitty 2D fighters, and I played some great 2D fighters, and I played some awesome 3D fighters. I mean, Injustice 2, I wouldn't really consider that a 3D fighter. That's like one of those 3D 2D
Right.
kind of deals.
That's yeah.
Um, I mean, they've gone to that format for a reason because a lot of the time, unless you're Soul Calibur, the shit doesn't really work. Something about the engine that Soul Calibur uses has always really worked. I don't understand it, but they somehow get it down. I think it's their physics engine.
And I've always
Um,
preferred DOA as opposed to Virtual Fighter, and I think DOA has been more consistent in their games. I know people love Virtual
yeah,
Fighter, but
most definitely. I think in the long run, it's going to be 2D fighters. Is my answer to this. But I mean, dude, I love me some Soul Calibur, especially with the custom characterization and everything. Like, as I've talked before with Soul Calibur, I mean, one time Karen and we created the whole cast of Venture Brothers. We had Bart Simpson, and Lisa.
You gotta admit,
We
man, pull the curtain back on you and me a little bit. Back in the day, like the early 2000s, Tannen and I were in a band together, right? I was the drummer,
Oh my
Tannen
god.
played. Anyway, we recorded at our buddy's studio, who was a hip hop producer, right? So there'd always be these entourages over there. And Tannen, tell me, every time we went over for a recording session to hang out, people weren't gathered around Soul Calibur 2. That game took the
Oh
nation
yeah.
by storm at the time, I feel like, for gather around and just with your friends. Everybody was playing that game.
I will agree with Kuzan's comment. Tekken Tag
Mm,
is by far one of the best fucking
my
fighters
favorite.
ever.
That's my favorite.
Um,
Take bowling out, it's not my favorite, but it's my favorite.
but yeah, like yeah, Soul Calibur 2 was the fucking goddamn bee's knees when it happened. Holy shit.
And not to mention your
Um,
different versions at the time was kind of mind
yeah.
blowing and cool.
And it was just like, but as far as what I'm saying, as far as a 3D fighter goes, like yeah, Soul Calibur like took the cake then. Tekken Tag, like yeah, I mean you had Tekken, you know, and I would consider that a 3D fighter still because the map did switch. Tekken Tag was later down the line. Um, but for its time though, like Soul Calibur 2 really did hold up. Tekken still kind of holds its shit. Like I mean, I have Tekken on my PSP, and like if we're doing a road trip or something and somebody else is in the car and I don't have to pay attention or I'm not navigating, I'm plugging in my fucking headphones and playing that shit. It's really awesome on PSP. So, it's a yeah, that's a great Traveler 3D game. But at the same time too, I got the Capcom arcade anthology, and that's got like every version of Street Fighter 2 on it.
Right on.
So I find myself playing that a lot too.
Would you say Street Fighter though would be the franchise, obviously for your 2D taste?
No, Mortal Kombat would.
Oh, look at that. See, and growing up, it was Street Fighter. MK was a close second, but now taking it all in, going back, it's SNK for me. King of
See,
Fighters, all that stuff.
I was always a Mortal Kombat kid. That's what I had. That's what I had in my library growing up on cartridge. It was always Mortal Kombat. I think it's because my dad preferred that. Like I had Street Fighter 2 for the SNES, but like I think my dad liked Mortal Kombat more, especially Mortal Kombat 2 for the SNES.
Mm.
So like I would like get better at it, and then he would get better at it. We had a Nintendo Power, which told us everybody's moves. And
You're
that was
such,
it was
you are such an asshole. You know why?
why.
I was not allowed to talk about that game as a kid, look at magazines with that game in. I wanted that game, dude, more than anything in the world at the time. I would take poster boards and make posters of like I was obsessed with Mortal Kombat 2 when it came
See,
out.
that happened. That happened with the first one with me and my parents. My mom would not let me get it, and I really blame the media. You know, like
Yeah.
because they had the
Fuck you, Al Gore.
these kids are playing these games, and you know, like I don't know, like I remember like them like even trying to go as far as like somebody got their breasts ripped off or something on some stupid show she was watching, probably Oprah or some bullshit, and she was just like, you cannot play that game. And like, so we didn't get the game, you know, for years. Well, then Mortal Kombat 2 came out, and I was just like, come on, like, and I can't even remember how it came down to it, but I was like, do I really seem like a violent person? And it was just like, okay,
It was
like
it
I'll
was
get it for you, but
literally
I swear the moment you screw up, like, yeah, no, it was along those lines. I swear the minute you screw up, you get in a fight at school or something, it is out of this house. And it was just like, what the hell? And my dad was like all about it though. He was like, I like that game. I feel like he went over to a buddy's house and it was just like, I want this.
I swear to God, man, in my house, and you know what? My parents were fucking great. Looking back, they were, and I'm not trying to make it, but I swear to God, if you would think in my house growing up, the two things, one was the Satanic Bible, and the other was like a Nazi Iron Cross, was Mortal Kombat 2 and Beavis and Butthead. It was like a cardinal sin for me to get caught watching or playing either one of those things at the time. But I think by the time MK3 came out and the latter, that was like 95, 96. I was a little bit older. They kind of stopped giving a shit when they, I guess because to the early to mid 90s, gaming was evolving into more violence just so rapidly that what were your parents supposed to do if all games were pretty much they knew, and I was older anyway.
Yeah, no, and I was a little bit older for Mortal Kombat too. Like I was like 10. So like The shock was, oh, another thing was that we got a PC, our first family PC, right? And my cousin Zoe came over and installed a bunch of games on it. And, one of them was Doom. And another one was the original Mortal Kombat. Now, Grant, I didn't have a controller to play it with, so I had to use the keyboard, which is a little awkward. But it was the arcade version.
Nice.
And no, I think that's just what really got them to also come to the conclusion, well, this isn't affecting them. At one point, Mom was like, "What are you playing?" I was like, "Well, Zoe put it on there."
Awesome. But I still say though, Mortal Kombat 2, the two games of all time to this day, I can remember where I was at. They blew my mind so much when I saw them for the first time. Were Mortal Kombat 2 and GTA 3. I'll never forget the first time I saw those two games and showed me what gaming could be.
Oh yeah, you were talking about Brandon's house. I remember going over there for band recordings and shit, and hanging out, and then even in between takes, we would take turns at GTA 3 and just play that.
Yeah, man, that was what it was all about back in the day. Just get around with the boys, break the law in the game. You would time each other to see who would get the higher wanted level or who could go longer without dying. That was pretty much, just recreational things while you do it.
That was fun.
For me, though, like I said, growing up, definitely Street Fighter. Now, though, I just think at the end of the day, Capcom, and yes, I know, and I've said this in my group chat for all the listeners, oh, he's a broken record, but not everyone's in my group chat, so give me a break. Capcom, at the end of the day, yes, they did the Alpha 3 stuff. They did try some different things, but by now, from 4 to 5, SNK may have not taken as many risks with their franchises, but I think SNK always handled it with a bit more class as opposed to just milking it for another entry.
Yeah, and SNK, well, I mean, that was normally strictly your arcade fighter too, I feel like.
For the first part of SNK, definitely. The first half, I would say. Before the later entries of King of Fighters became staples for home console releases that were affordable home consoles, not a fucking goddamn $600 Neo Geo at the time or whatever. But yeah, like Capcom versus on this podcast Sunday, Tina, I got to pick two fighting games. I picked Samurai Showdown series, and my all-time favorite fighting game to this day. I don't care, anybody come at me. I've never had more fun with friends. Never got into a game more where I was legit like a sensei fucking master than Capcom versus SNK 2 on the GameCube. Of all consoles is what I mastered the D-pad with. That tiny ass D-pad. I was canceling moves, parrying moves with that shit all day long. All day long. Gary sucks. Ask Gary about me on that little D-pad. He knows all about it. But that game is amazing. I love that game.
I mean, if you're going into fighters, though, I'm really surprised you didn't bring up Capcom versus Marvel 2. That was a really good one.
Oh, we can definitely. I would say that was my Capcom SNK 2 is my favorite of all time. Capcom versus Marvel 2 now is super expensive. I used to have it on PS2. Now I kick myself in the ass every day for letting that game go for the amount it's worth now. And it's just a fun game. The only problem I have with it is the balancing. I get it. Sentinel is so fucking OP. There's certain guys in that game that are so strong, but still, it's a fun time. If you pick up and play Capcom versus Marvel 2 and you say it's not fun, you're being contrary to be contrary. It's a fun time. It's just a little hectic. It's going to give you a seizure, but
yeah. But yeah, I have no idea. Somehow I have a copy of it.
For PS2.
Yeah.
Hold on to that motherfucker, man.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gripping onto that for dear life.
Even better if you had the Dreamcast one.
I want the Dreamcast one.
How about fighting series that kind of just faded away? And I say it all the time, man. I love the Bloody Roar series, and I wish they would come back. I don't know if you've never played any of those games.
Which ones? Sorry, I was going to the chat for just a second.
Oh yeah, what's chat saying?
Yeah, just Zoe fucking rocks. Or high five for Zoe. I had to say that, yeah, Zoe fucking rocked. He was like a cousin that was 12 years older than me. He knew what I wanted. Media ruins everything for people's parents by the Moses. And yeah, it's yeah. Everything in response that we're talking to. So it's great. It's just Kuzan that's talking. which is cool. I really appreciate you like talking here, man.
Oh, you're gonna get the
Um,
biggest shout outs possible on Twitter after the show. Thank you, man, for hanging out. And we don't usually go live, so apologies. We're trying to keep up with the chat. We're just not. We forget. We're like, oh yeah, we were live.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's also just like I have a hard time multitasking, so
Yeah, we're fucking old guys. Give us a break.
I'm like a cat. Like like do you know when cats? There's a fact when cats switch their tails, they can't decide what they want to do. So if you ever see your cat just standing there twitching its tail, it's that it's having a hard time making a decision.
And if it
Didn't
digs
know
its
that till recently.
if it digs its claws into you like it's giving you a massage, but it really hurts, they fucking love you. It's called kneading.
Yeah, yeah. No, they just want your sweet, sweet milk.
I just threw up in my mouth. Damn it. Fighting games though, man, they're fucking fun. Besides
Oh yeah,
besides
honorable mention.
side scrollers, my favorite
Yeah,
probably.
man. I tell you, for its time, there's this one game. It pisses a lot of people off when I bring it up, but Bushido Blade, man.
Mm.
I have the entire trilogy, and that was that was basically PlayStation's answer to Virtua Fighter at the time. Man, me and my sister played the shit out of Bushido Blade. And then when I went back and played it again, like, yeah, it's not the greatest game in the world, but man, it's fucking fun. Like, there's just something about it so sluggish and just so.
Who developed was that? That wasn't Namco, was it? Who developed that game?
I don't know. I'm not back in my room, so I can't immediately look.
Because I remember the engine being pretty much like Tekken 3, kinda. One of them.
More like, as I said, no, is more comparable to Virtua Fighter is really what it was.
I remember mixing up my games. I have not played Bushido Blade in fucking ages. Maybe I should fix that. You have it,
Uh,
copy.
I can tell you right now, it was. Why doesn't it say what the company? Oh, Squaresoft.
Squaresoft. Well, no
Oh.
shit. Look at that. Wow. I didn't expect that name. But yeah, I remember that series. I remember it being fun. I didn't have, even back then, I didn't spend a lot of time with it, but you had it with your sister growing up. That's cool because that's another game that doesn't get a lot of love.
Oh, wait. You know what? I'm mixing two things up here.
It's the wrong game, isn't it?
Wasn't thinking of Bushido Blade. Not
Oh
at
my
all.
God.
Bushido Blade, Chris and I played a shitload a lot against. Asshole. No, I'm thinking of Battle Arena Toshinden, actually.
Which is kind of the same fucking thing now that I think about it. In a way. It's kind of the same fucking gaming concept. But yeah, I remember that. I have no time under my belt with that one. I've never played that game.
Battle Arena Toshinden was actually, and they probably have Tamsoft and Dream Factory. Oh, that was for the Wii. The publishers were Takara on the PS1, SCA for us in North America. And I actually have this was like one of those original PlayStation games. Like I have the big one, like that big ass case, that big ass needless jewel
the
case.
long boxes.
Yeah.
Nice. Very
It
nice.
was also on the Saturn.
You know what's cool about the long boxes? You could pour waffle mix into the side and you can make little mini waffles. We cannot talk about fighting games and we can't just say 2D or 3D with what's honestly been a big part of you and I's social lives with couch co-op and just one of the staples in fighting games and a new trailer announcement, Smash Brothers, Tannen.
Yes. Oh yeah. Hey, Bloody Roar got an honorable mention
Bloody Roar.
here.
I love that series.
In our chat, yes, Bloody Roar, most definitely. That was a fucking great game, and yes, that is the one where you turn into animals, and that was really good.
Loved it.
Killer Instinct. A lot of people shit on that one. I mean, dude, I thought it was good.
I don't see a lot of hate for Killer Instinct. I see a lot of love for it, but honestly, I'll come clean. That is a series that I've never gotten into.
The new one I've seen shit on. But the old one though, I definitely like.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 3 million hit combos in like the gold edition back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Fucking. The 64 one I remember being fun for the time.
That 64 one was badass, man.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It was really fun actually. I need to revisit that too. But yeah, man, fucking Smash Brothers. For what it started at, the very first one, it was fucking awesome. It was mind blowing too at the time to see all your characters like that fight. To what it's become now, though, did you see that coming, or is it kind of obvious? Eventually, they would just this was a cash cow just waiting to happen.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I saw it on the Wii U with the like when they did the DLC packs, and the DLC packs are still expensive as shit, and I don't have them.
You think
Like I want.
Nintendo expected this to be a one-off in the beginning, or they knew this was going to be like kind of their new franchise from the franchises, kind of within?
I think they definitely planned that back in the days of N6. I think that was like their tester, because like you had what it was 7 characters to choose from originally, and
Oh,
then
it's 8.
7, 8. I mean, big damn difference, but
Now it's like
like
54.
yeah. Well, yeah, because the more characters you add, the better. But no, now that's in DLC packs, like the Wii version had a shit ton of characters and you didn't have to pay for them. Now, and then the Wii U version came out and it was like, oh, we're gonna have to start charging you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the hell, man? I kind of understand like charging for somebody like if it was just Cloud and you had to pay like $10 for Cloud. But there was never like an ultimate edition released. Like at least like Injustice has done that. Even Injustice 2, like they have their ultimate edition now.
But it's
Where
Nintendo.
it's
But then,
yeah.
but then they put out Mario Kart fucking Deluxe. The reason they haven't is because this new one coming out. Um, did you see that trailer, by the way?
Mm-mm.
Big announcement in it. It starts in on a Splatoon character's eyeball, and then like it fades out slowly from the pupil, and then it's like the Smash logo. So there's going to be Splatoon, and that should have been on Wii U. Honestly, that's long overdue. That should have been incorporated by now. But anyway, I saw reaction videos of people watching the trailer just for the Splatoon part, and like the grown men, literally, you would think they had a spring up their asshole. They were so excited when they. I mean, it's awesome, but I got to link you some of the reaction videos. These guys from the trailer, but that's cool. I think come at me again. Melee is probably still the best one,
Oh yeah.
but Wii U one,
Yeah.
the Wii U one for what it was, take all the controversies about the DLC, the core of it was pretty damn perfect playability
It
wise.
was good. It was good. I got in late on the game on the Wii U one, so wasn't like I was playing with friends or nothing. However, though, I did enjoy it. You know what it was lacking though? The Wii version had that storyline mode and shit. I liked that.
See,
I
and
liked the.
that's the one that's polarizing to people, where it seems like Brawl divides people. At least from
I
what
don't,
a lot of people don't like Brawl.
I don't
And I
understand
think it
why.
goes to just the Wii mode, maybe, or whatever. I mean, you could have used a GameCube controller, guys.
Yeah, yeah. No, and you know what? You know what I found out recently? Like, holy fuck, Mario Kart on the Wii worked with the GameCube controller. Completely changed my idea and perspective on the game.
Check this out. Actual fucking news. That just reminded me. Did you see Nintendo unveiling like last week or so with the compatibility with GameCube controllers now for the Switch?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
Kuzon's in the chat. He's been talking my ear off. He's like, I feel like he works for Nintendo. He wants me to get a Switch so bad so we can play. I'm thinking about it, man. I really am. They just need a little bit more meat to the library, diversity maybe, and I'm all in. I
I
don't know.
want an XL version. I want a bigger
Yeah,
screen.
I'm waiting on a bigger screen. We're waiting on bigger shit. That's we're Americans, Kuzon. We like it big. What do you
Go
want?
big or go home. Size
Go big or
matters.
go home, boy. Play your Tenchu Z Fighter bullshit.
You know what they say? Once you go XL, you never go back.
It's true. I don't got a lot
But
of
yeah,
my sleeve anymore
huh?
for this show though tonight, Tan, unless you got some stuff.
Well, okay. Like one thing. Okay, I'm not gonna bring it up too much because you haven't watched it yet. Someone should come over and watch it. But I know I had different opinions about The Last Jedi, and then I watched the documentary of the making of right before the show.
Right.
And man, like watching those interviews with Mark Hamill, like now my opinion of it's changed again.
Here we go.
I fucking love Mark Hamill, man. Like Mark Hamill is by far. I mean, he's definitely one of my favorite voice actors ever.
But he was not a happy camper.
And he was not a hot. Oh no, he was not a happy camper. And in some of those interviews, like you almost hear like his sternness, old man, pissed off, kind of a Joker voice out of it. Like he's just like, I don't believe the character should have gone in this direction. Like, you know, it's just like, whoa, like, you know. And then I'm watching too, and the way he's acting on set and shit, and I'm like, man, you know, like I want to hang out with Mark Hamill really bad. Like,
Hey Mark, do cock knocker for me, please. just 2 seconds of cock knocker. But yeah, I saw a lot of the. I didn't see the documentary like you, but I knew he wasn't a happy camper during the filming.
I knew he wasn't, and then like when I actually saw like they finally like published his real emotional about it and stuff, and it's like Ryan Johnson didn't listen to him at all. And you know the thing is you know, and he brings this up. He's like, when I first originally filmed Star Wars with George Lucas, you know, George would actually listen to my ideas, and some of them he would take and some of them he wouldn't. Ryan, on the other hand, just wouldn't listen to me. I'm like, whoa. all right, yeah. Now I'm pissed off at Ryan Johnson again. Like,
but yes, as Tannen said, you know what? I think we should film reactions for me seeing it for the first time at your house. Something.
yeah, we can do that. I don't know. I don't think you're gonna drop your popcorn. I think you're gonna be like, what the fuck was that about? What the fuck is this? What the hell's going on? And maybe it was the excitement of getting it on Amazon and watching it at home. Like I was like, you know, but at the same time, then I watched the making of. And
maybe
now,
Mark Hamill's just at a point in his life, in that age where he just wants to take gigs where he can be the Joker in an animated series. That's the only thing he's going to be content with.
No. Maybe because the directors listened to his suggestion, but it's just like, you know, like I was watching it was a practice scene between him and Daisy Ridley, right? And Ryan Johnson's like, I really feel like she should be in this position, blah, blah, blah. And Luke was like, I'm sorry. Fucking. Yeah, he was in the Luke costume for when they were going over this little practice thing. He was like, personally, Ryan, I feel if I'm supposed to be teaching her, she should be here and I should be here. And he was just like, no, this is how it's going to be. And just the look on Hamill's face was like,
God.
You know, like, you fucking kid, I want to beat you. I want to beat you right now.
I wish celebrity boxing was still a thing, so those two could be booked in a fight.
Huh?
I wish.
Who? Hamill and
Yeah, you remember celebrity boxing on Fox or whatever?
Remember Celebrity Deathmatch? That would have been great too.
Yeah.
Of course, Hamill would win.
Fuck it. Nobody beats Hamill. Come on.
Well, it would just come out like all of Hamill's characters just coming out and just like ripping Johnson apart, and eating his intestines while Johnson was still alive and slowly dying, I think. And there you have it, another match on MTV's Deathmatch.
And what a way to sign off tonight with intestinal murder and fucking Tannen, man.
Yeah, Celebrity Deathmatch, dude, they should bring that back. I mean, what with all the whole, like, again, recently, going into recent, you know, I know we don't do this very often. We never get political, but the Biden versus Trump fight in Celebrity Deathmatch would also be great.
There's so much material since that show stopped airing that they could use now with politicians that's gone down. It's incredible. Obama, fucking Hillary, all that shit, man.
Oh, dude, I didn't send you that meme, did I? Tamara posted this thing. Oh my god, it was hilarious because it was just like all this going down. Starts the music like whenever Biden said something, and then it's just like, and Biden has a chair, and he's like walking with a fold-up chair.
Jesus.
God, it would be awesome. I'd love to see that. I just don't know, man.
With that being said, Tannen, one more time, where can everyone check you out?
You can check me out at OTannensBum at Twitter. You can also check me out on my Facebook if you like, Tannen Paul, Habiki TMD Facebook, Habiki TMD at Twitter. And make sure you check out all the other lovely shows that Travis, provides. Also, Kuzan is also on Slam Pigs. Everything else that you do a shit ton of stuff. It's a lot to list. I'm getting kind of groggy.
I'll do my best.
But hey, we're not quite done yet.
Oh,
we need
shit.
2 other things.
All right.
How was your game of the fucking week?
Oh my god. I forgot my game of the week homework this week.
Okay.
Wait a minute. No, I did. It was Hunt for Red October, wasn't it?
I believe so, yeah, on the Game Boy.
Because I think by the end of the show last week, you just started rambling. You gave me like 7 games, so I picked 1. I played it for literally 10 minutes. I didn't even bother streaming it this week. I was like, you know what?
Oh, it's that bad. It's a bad game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna go with a new one. I'm gonna go. I want you to stream this one. I've never seen you stream it before. Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Oh boy, I need to get my wits about me, apparently. That game is great, but it goddamn.
Get ready for super graphics and music in this great ghost hunting adventure. Ask brave Arthur. You can use 7 different weapons against the hordes of the ruthless Red Emperor. And that's all they have.
That's also dropped. How could we forget Tannen's trailers? Tannen, the new series.
Yeah. We need to record a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll get to all that. We could knock out like 18 episodes in 2 minutes with that show. That's easy.
Damn, and I guess I picked the wrong game for you. I should have picked another Game Boy game for you, but I'm not gonna torture you every week.
Save it for
Super Ghosts and Ghouls is actually come on. A lot of people complain about it, but that's not that bad of a game.
It's not bad. No, I don't think anyone thinks it's bad. It's just fucking hard.
It's hard as motherfucking balls, man.
The graphics, the music, the gameplay is tight. Everything's on point. It's a great classic Capcom game. It's better than the NES one by far.
This is true.
All right, hot shot. You want to turn up the difficulty, huh? My gift to you, Ghosts and Goblins, NES. Right back at you. Oh my god. Right back at you.
Does it count if I play the version that I have of it? It's the arcade version on PSP.
Sure.
Or does it have to strictly...
Sure, because everybody reviews the NES version. That'll be something different. So by all means.
Okay. Because I have the PSP. I could play that at work.
Sweet.
So
there it is. Tannen and I hate each other. Apparently, we want each other to be frustrated in a hard game.
You gave me the shittier version.
I'm still pissed about Hunt for Red October, man. Come on. Yes, and you brought back up a bad memory.
Okay, and it's the Game Boy version. It's not the NES version.
Was there a Game Boy version of Ghouls and Ghosts?
I don't know.
I hope not.
I'm pretty sure there probably is.
There's got to be. Jesus.
I mean, there's got to be a port.
That
game was ported to everything.
We're fucking sick, but we're not that sick. I don't think. Fuck it. You do your PSP. Can I change the game you gave me? If there is a Game Boy version, I'll play that. How's that? But if not, I'll do Super
Just do a little bit of both. That's one thing you could do, is do a little bit of both and do a little bit of comparisons on how the port works.
That works too. A little bit.
Because you never know. You might play the Game Boy version and be like, this game is so much easier than its original. Like, I can't fucking believe it. Like,
kind of like the Mega Man ones for Game Boy. So much easier.
It's because the sprites are so big.
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
We're going home. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheHibbikiTMD. Check out Never Drew a Dime, The Reset Button, This, Slam Pigs Podcast, Catch Me on Future Wrestling, Hibbiki Pro, Logan Myers, Future World Heavyweight Champion. All the goodness. Thank you once again to Kuzan for stopping by the chat, man. I will catch you on Slam Pigs next week. I will catch you on our April Fool's episode next, Tannen. Until then, The Reset Button.
Whoa. You're not supposed to announce it.
I didn't. It's just the date.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.
We always do one that they know we're gonna do one. But we're not gonna tell you what the fuck it is. Until then, see ya.